Let's bring up the comment section and we are good to go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another day. This happens to be Tuesday, October 25th. Melville Chamber of Commerce has got their annual event going on. So their business expo that's over in Melville, obviously. I should say obviously. They definitely looking to continue to grow as they are, but that's taking place today. So if you're interested in attending that, please do. Go say hi to a bunch of my friends that are down there today. So, what in the world? What a great summer. Absolutely phenomenal. There were so many things that took place, so many things that are good, so many things, whatever I had to deal with, along the way too. But big thank you to absolutely everybody along the way. So, what does it mean? I mean, the summer's over. That's it. We're all done? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I mean that from this perspective, but let's look at this thing from a larger point of view. Errol, good afternoon. Yeah, the weather is good tonight. Best show tonight. Yeah, we'll put that up there. That's he's talking about the Long Island needs a drag strip. Long Island got a drag strip. That they do. We got the hat here someplace. There we go, Errol. We're representing the team. I got you covered there. So that's at the Mount Carmel Church, Patchogue, New York. That is from 5 o'clock on, 5 o'clock to sunset. It's trunk or treat night, and the weather is great. Great. It's gonna be actually it's warm out. Can't believe how warm it is, right? Yeah, there you go. And why don't we put that up? Why don't we do that? You got a website? I'm sure I can do that. Long Island needs a drag strip. So the weather looks well, and it looks. I'm looking out the window right now in my studio, and weather's great. It's gonna be nice and warm out tonight too. So that is always a good thing. And if you are interested in participating in that one, by all means, get down there. And this is where we should do. And here's the good part about this. We'll take this as a learning moment. Is that there's always something to pick up, something to learn. So I'm going to upgrade my system over here, and there it is. Trunk or treat. No, that's not yours. And we'll be doing a. I got to upgrade the version on this thing too, so I'll be able to put it out in different places, and that kind of thing. So that'll be good. The other side of it too is I'll be able to prepare a bit more of these different websites and things like that come up. But anyhow, it's at the Mount Carmel Church in Patchogue, New York. You get the website for that or something like that. I could put up. That'd be fantastic, there, Earl. So it is tonight, 5 to sunset. Bring your candy. Bring your cars. Some of the cars have trunks. Some of the cars have trunks in the front. Those are our electric vehicles. And boy, what an experience that has been this year. Also, look about out at the drag strip. And got the approval for next year as it stands right now. There's always a caveat. Isn't there always a caveat with everything that we do? But the caveat is there is that the park, Epcal Park, is for sale. So who owns it? What that's going to look like next year, we shall see. Don't know. But status quo. Looks like back racing again, August through October. Go to Racetrack Not Straight for all details, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll be able to get the update on that. Not only that, by the way, Pete Scalza is the track promoter for Racetrack Not Straight, and Long Island needs a drag strip team. they are the I don't know. I'd like to say they're the strength behind the whole thing. And but Pete has been at it all the time and for quite a while, with various supervisors over in Riverhead. So Supervisor Yvette Aguirre was the one who said, yeah, let's do this thing. And that was done. Got approval for the last 2 years, last year, this year, and then again going forward. And that was unanimous at the town board level. Again, we shall see, but that's up for August. So from my perspective there, Earl and team, full steam ahead. And from the track standpoint, and as you know, has been listening, and this goes into the, summer came to culminated. This summer is a great summer, but that does not mean anything is done. Look, part of the reason for getting involved with the racetrack, the street, Long Island needs a drag strip, and that whole team has been the underlying fact of the matter is that a drag strip is good for the economy. It's good for local businesses. It should be good for tourism also. And we've seen that happen. Certainly seen the local economy thing happen. As his words coming from the supervisor, and folks that showing up at restaurants and the different hotels out there. There's been much more activity during these race weekends. That's good stuff. The other side of it too is the fact that should a drag strip track continue, and even Riverhead Raceway, they're making efforts to work with the students, to work with the college students, maybe high school students too, and giving them real life experience by doing different things. I spoke to somebody who is involved with Riverhead Raceway, and what they do, they have students come down and they use the microphone. What they're doing is they're interviewing the drivers that win these various races that takes place over there. Great experience. It's actually phenomenal experience because if you're interviewing somebody, and I'll speak from personal experience here, if you're interviewing somebody, no matter what they tell you in advance, sometimes they're easy to interview. Sometimes not so easy. Sometimes they give you really short answers like yes or no, which makes for a very challenging interview. Other times they go on and on and on and give you long responses, depending upon length of show, whether it's good or bad, depends, that kind of thing. But you never know. So when those students go down there to interview these drivers, they have no idea. No idea. There's no way to know whether or not it's going to be a good interview or not. They have a certain amount of time to do it in. So there you go. So it's a fantastic experience. Now, should there be a permanent track, we could talk about all the things that maybe would be good experiences for students at the track. Now, you Long Island needs a drag strip team over there, the staff that operated the track itself. In other words, where those moving cars are, all yours, all yours. You know, I've seen how actually complicated it is, and it's not exactly just moving a car forward. There's a whole bunch of things going on at that point in time. But I'm talking about the event, the entire event, microphone too, if so desire. But there's so many things that go into an event. You know that. You know that by doing just even a small event at your business, the car show tonight. There's a lot of things that happen with it, right? Got to make sure everybody's uh, parked where they're supposed to park. You've got, I'm sure you got t-shirts, sweatshirts. You've got paraphernalia. There's food trucks, ice cream truck, and it's still going to be nice enough for the ice cream trucks, which is really phenomenal. Contrary to the joke in the beginning of the season where it was freezing up, ice cream truck showed, people lined up for the ice cream. I don't know, but that's what they do. But all of this stuff needs to be coordinated and coordinated at the place, in this case at the church, and it also needs to be coordinated while it's going on, make sure everybody's doing what it is that they need to do, and to have the different pieces there. That's the event planning business, is it not? It certainly is. What about the promotion of these events? That's another group of people. Maybe you want to make a commercial advertisement, articles, videos. Look, we've had some of the major, actually a good amount of the major papers, major either newspaper or websites, come down shooting videos or writing articles, things like that. So if you're a student, your son, daughter, friend's son, daughter, wants to get into media and become a reporter, this is it. Even your weather forecaster friends, our meteorologist, it's another one. This is it. You know, even humidity levels, wind, all this stuff, everything factors into everything. When do you call a race? When do you don't do something because of weather, or what do you do if weather's on the horizon or anything like that? It's a million and one different ways to get involved, without a doubt. So I hope to see this thing become permanent for a variety of reasons. That being a big one, on my side. And I'm happy to actually had such a ball doing the whole thing. It opened my eyes to so many different things. And it was nice to be part of something, etc. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, the walk yesterday. The walk on Sunday. Feels like yesterday, just trying to get caught up on sleep again and get going. It's another one too. Part of a team. What goes into raising money for a foundation? That all the teams had to, coordinate in order, for their own efforts of raising money. So that's restaurants that they were at, bowling. There was bowling events that took place, paint nights, all kinds of different things. You're a student, you want to learn what it's like to be involved in a nonprofit, to help teams come up with different fundraising ideas to promote the event, to coordinate the event. There was a professional event planning company that was down there that was down there coordinated the day, the walk of the day. Not the fundraising side of it, the walk of the day. They coordinated the whole thing. You had photographers, videographers that were there. You had sound people that were there. You had tons of folks that are making whatever that event happen. I wonder what they did in elementary school, high school, college. What did they get involved with? Maybe they were part of the student activity council that helped to coordinate different events. Perhaps. Maybe they were the ones that were in plays. Maybe they were the ones that took the microphone and announced, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats at this moment because the play will start in the next 5 or 10 minutes, whatever that is. Maybe there was somebody outside when these cars showed up at that high school and they had to be parked properly. Where to go? Parking attendants. Tell you, parking cars is a business and it's a very viable business. And I'll let the person that helped on that side of things talk for himself, but it's a viable business without all these things are, let alone, oh my God, the visual side of it too. So many, everything. So these were different and they are different tools, different opportunities for students to get involved. I'd love to see this become permanent where something like that could be planned to have people participate in, have high school or college students participate in. It's great, but season's over. The auto industry is not, absolutely. Machinery industry is not, construction industry is not, aerospace industry is not. So many things going on. So tomorrow, and I think I'm going to I'll record this one for tomorrow. But Allendale Machinery, which happens to be located in Bohemia, they're having today. They're working with the customers. Tomorrow it's Education Day. Education Day. So there's a panel discussion that is taking place with some of the key people on Long Island and some of the key people not on Long Island. Part of the Haas Foundation, one of their representatives is going to be speaking about that. They support the education system. Pine Bush High School. They're located up in the Westchester area. They're going to be coming down. They're going to be part of the panel discussion, discussing how they are involved with Allendale Machinery and working with their students. John Lombardo is going to be on that panel discussion, talking about workforce development. And Ron Loveland will also be part of that panel discussion, talking about the manufacturing committee at the HAA and the manufacturers here on Long Island. It all ties together. Those cars, they're made out of steel. They got a lot of plastic in them, composite material. Somebody's got to weld and fix the cars, build the cars. Remember, there was one gentleman that as soon as Long Island Needs a Drag Strip got started, maybe P2, on the whole idea of getting a track approved out here someplace. As soon as he heard word of it 6 years ago, he told me, as soon as I heard word, I started building a car for it. I knew someday. How's that for another one of these things? Have your mind set on the goal? Came out there with the car. I tell you, that was something. That was a great story to be told. Telling it right now. So he knew, and he had to do the welding across the board. There was another gentleman that I spoke to, Oceanside High School, their car show, by the way. Oceanside High School STEM program built a rat rod, built a car basically from the ground up. Those students learned everything about when building a car, in that world, but the welding, electric, everything else that goes along with it. AutoCAD was another thing that was mentioned in there by the by the teacher that is leading the charge on that one. And he and the team are building another car. They built a boat a few years ago, car last year, and they're building another car. So it's really cool. But those are all real life experiences for these students. Real life experiences. So when they go through high school and they find out, hey, I really want to work in a machine shop, and then they go to Suffolk Community College. That's the John Lombardo. That's Dr. Bonneyou. That's I'm told, one facility out here where you can get a certification to work with these machines that build that are able to construct different pieces. Machine shops. You get that certification, you're now going to work, not the job. You're going to work as a career. Manufacturing of all different sorts, all different sorts. Welding, all different places. I spoke to somebody in one of the aerospace companies, and the question I had to him was, because I don't do those things. And it was, you get the job descriptions. They look similar in nature, but really, are the students really truly learning what they need to learn in order to fulfill those job descriptions? The short answer was yes. It was a much longer response that went along with it. The answer is yes. And I can tell you from my own past experience, when I was interviewing businesses at a job fair, I was interviewing the businesses for the kind of people that they were looking for, the kind of skills that they were looking for, the kind of experience they were looking for. Big eye opener on the whole thing. They really weren't looking for experience. It wasn't so much as experience that they wanted, it was interest. They wanted to know that those newer employees had a true interest in whatever that company was doing, a true interest. Great to have the basic skills without a doubt. Hey, look, maybe I have an interest in welding. And the next question was, what was the last thing I welded? And I'm like, I've never touched it before. It's not gonna, that does not fulfill job descriptions. But it certainly would if that prospective employee said, well, I've been involved in a STEM program, and for the past 2 years in my 11th and 12th grade, or 10th, 11th grade, or whatever it might be, I helped build a car as part of our STEM program. I did the welding of the frame of the car, various metal pieces that went along with it, etc. Now that's an interest, and that's a skill. And if that student's taking photos along the way, which I'm sure they are, that's what LinkedIn is for, by the way, or Instagram, and maybe some of the others. I'm not too sure about TikTok. I haven't I don't know. I'm told I should be using TikTok more and more. Okay, whatever it is, but that student now has I got a concrete visual history of what they have done. They can actually show the welding that they've done over the years. They could show the car that they were a part of building over the years. Same thing. Look, we could talk about woodworking if you'd like, right? It's just been the track over there. And, you know, maybe woodworking is the thing to do. You're going to go to work. You love, wood. Again, you're still in that same Oceanside High School STEM program. You built a boat. That was a beautiful boat. You had to get the wood together and then build the boat. I'm not sure. They built a boat. It doesn't make a difference how much of that boat they built, but they built that boat. And the boat did about 40 miles an hour, or 40 knots, since it's a boat. That's experience. That's great experience. So the continuing quest over here is not just a racetrack. It's not just an event. It's not just an anything. It's the continuous idea of being in front of these high school students, you being in front of these high school students, and letting them know what careers are available to them, letting them know how excited you are, and I certainly do hope you are excited about what it is that you are doing. Spoken about how great that is. If you are really interested in your business, the services you provide, the product you sell, well, if you're excited about it, other people will be excited about it. That's referrals, that's networking, that's the rest of that stuff. But fall into that motivational crowd and speak to students about why you're excited about what it is. when you participate at a career day, and there's a bunch of them coming up, yeah, what do you think? I was not going to give you an opportunity to join this party? Of course. Of course. It's not just during the summer, it's throughout the entire year. But for you to show why you're excited about what it is that you do, for you to talk about what really got you involved in it at an earlier age. I mean, students may think, oh, there was one gentleman I spoke to who wanted to be a lawyer. He just saw the fancy clothes, the big car, the mahogany desk, and everything like that went along with it. Like, you do understand there's a build up to all of this stuff. Nobody ever spoke to him about it. I was like, go find a lawyer, go talk to him, see what that process is, see what kind of law to practice too. There's a whole myriad of different ways to go in that respect. But that's what students need to see. And the more and more we can do that, the more and more we can get in front of our students at an early age as possible and let them see what it is that they get excited about. Let them see and understand that what they're doing in their spare time, what they're doing in their spare time may just be a career. It may just be a phenomenal career. They just may not see it. You could see that. You could see that. Maybe you could guide them not to go down the path that you went down, but for them to figure out the path that they should be going down because of their own experiences, because of their own talent, because of their own interest. They don't have to have experience in it. It's school, it's public school. Join a class, join one of these clubs, maybe, take a shop class, or even if they're in that STEM program that built that car, you don't want to get your hands dirty? Don't. Don't. Somebody's got to be on that computer figuring out the design of the whole thing. Somebody's got to figure out what that car is going to be painted like. I don't think it was at Oceanside High School. They wound up putting a shellac of some sort over the entire thing to keep that rust look. That was the decision there. But one of the other schools, and I don't know exactly which school it is, but one of the other schools in and around it, I know it was a Nassau County school, and I know it was on the South Shore. Which one, I'm not too sure. But they built their own car, and then they painted that car. It looked like one of the cars out of American Graffiti, the movie American Graffiti. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. They went the whole route of having that car painted. Or maybe they painted it themselves. What do you think happened with those students, too? They saw a lot. Maybe somebody had no interest in welding, but they loved to paint. Maybe somebody had no interest in the electronics or the engine or anything like that, but they really were focused on the computer side of it. Maybe somebody just really was interested in how to get traction. Boys, I've come to learn that's a big topic. How to get the most amount of traction out of a car. All right. Well, if there's a track that they could take their car to, now so they could really test it out. Tire size. What tires do you put on a car? Well, million and one question. Oh, that was a whole nother set of questions too. How do you get the most traction out of a car? Massive word problem. Oh, wait a second. That means somebody really has to be very, very interested in math. Absolutely. I spoke to John Montecalvo, three-time pro mod champion, world pro mod champion, and I started talking to him about that, about the different track surfaces, the track, if there's compound, no compound, humidity in the air, concrete versus blacktop, all kind of stuff. Sun's out, cloudy day. It's like, how do you figure out what mixture of fuel, tires, air pressure, gear ratios, and a whole bunch of other things that go into it that honestly I have no idea. He said, it's a complicated one. And they continue to test and they continue to try. And then when something works, they go back to try to make it a little bit better. Because when they're racing and they're racing, not doing the test and tuning stuff, but really racing. The difference between winning and losing is minor. It is such a short amount of time. Fractions of seconds, actually. So all of that stuff really, truly matters. Big time. big time. So all these skills need to be had. That's just on the racing side of it, let alone, and Peter Crouch had mentioned this too. He's involved with it with the automobile collision industry, uh, collision repair side of it. And he started talking about the different kinds of plastics, composites that are in all of these cars when something needs to be fixed. It's a lot. It's a whole nother topic. Whole nother topic. There's a lot of things going on. So the question is, are you ready to help? I hope you are. These car shows, they're fantastic. Fantastic. Taking photos at the photography. Forgot about photography and videography. I think I mentioned videography, but the photography too. But all of these things showing up at these cars at the schools for career day, man, that would be kind of cool. Know somebody who does that, you know, and letting these students see everything. And it doesn't have to be auto, it could be anything, whatever it is that you do, any topic, anywhere across the board. Because those students, especially the way CEO does it, career employment options does their career days, they have the students move from table to table this way at different businesses. They choose in what businesses they want to sit and chat with also too, including the police department is down there uh, frequently that I've seen. Railroad, a number of other companies, to retail stuff across the board. It's important, for that to happen. And that is why I'm going to continue down this whole thing over here. Tomorrow, Allendale Machinery, you got that big panel discussion. That's going to be great. Ron Loveland is the key in that whole thing with the manufacturing committee at the HIA, also workforce development, John Lombardo, Suffolk Community College, etc. A lot of these folks follow along because they'll be doing different things and helping to get the word out about the job opportunities, the career opportunities, and to deal with that challenge, right? For every challenge, there is an opportunity. But the challenge is connecting the schools and the business world together, blending those two together. Sometimes it's a little bit easier than others. We do the career days. It's good. You get 20 businesses, 30 business maybe showing up. That's good. We had students come to the Oceanside School, had students come to a trade show. Now, all of a sudden, those students that come, it's not the whole school now. Now you got 30, 40, I think it was a total like 60 students. There was a couple of schools that attended. But now they get a chance to meet with hundreds of businesses. That's great. The HIA trade show last year through Ron Manufacturing Group and all the rest of that stuff, they were there and they had a lot of the schools and a lot of school representatives attend the thing. Be great if it was even more than that. They did it virtually. Great. Again, you're getting a chance for the students to see what's going on and get as many students involved as possible. Sometimes a little bit of a challenge, though. You can't have every student on Long Island showing up at something. You can't have every business showing up any place, but you can have a lot of businesses doing what is really, I think, absolutely the right thing to do, is to spend some time in the local school and find out what schools have got programs that really will assist your business. Look, if you're in the machine shop business and the local school doesn't have a machine shop, maybe that's not the thing to do. But find another school system that's close if that works for you, and see if you can go down there. Show up once a while. Show up once a month, once every other month, and talk to the students about, hey, what you're doing here really does fulfill those job descriptions. You got some machinery you can donate, great. You got some time you can donate, great. But look, I really believe that we need to support the school systems any which way we can. What I do is minor, but I feel like I'm doing something. More and more people, more and more businesses that could do that, to spend some time with the schools, either getting to the school or giving the schools an opportunity to go someplace with perhaps a vehicle they built. It'll work. Talk about making the world a better place. Well, you know what? We can make the world a better place. We'll start with our schools, our public schools. Public schools give every student an opportunity to see what's available to them, to see what careers are available to them, to see what it is that really interests them, not anybody else, but interests them, and let them be exposed to that. Let them share in the joy that you have with your effort, with your business. That's kind of key. And that is why, as always, you, my friends, need to attend the car show tonight. But beyond that, you, my friends, need to speak well, speak often, and live inspired. You will inspire others to do the same thing. Not everybody, but some. Some that really want to do that. And then they, in turn, will do the same thing. And now we have got a lot of things improving in a big way. That's key. Our students need to see what's possible, see where those careers are, keep those businesses here. That'd be the key to success here for the island as well. But do your part. Speak well, speak often, and live inspired.